ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਇਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦਿ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦਿ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਭੀ ਸੱਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿਛ ਕਰਮ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਸਾਰ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇਰੀ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿਛ ਕਰਮ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਨਾਹਿਨ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਕਰਨੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਕੈ ਅੰਚਲ ਲਾਵਹੁ ਬਿਖਮ ਨਦੀ ਜਾਇ ਤਰਨੀ ਮੈਂ ਮੂਰਖ ਕੀ ਕੇਤਕ ਬਾਤ ਹੈ ਕੋਟ ਪਰਾਦੀ ਤਰਿਆ ਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਿਨ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਪੇਖਿਆ ਸੇ ਫਿਰ ਗਰਭਾਸ ਨਾ ਪਰਿਆ ਰੇ तेरे जोर मैं गूंगा कहता हूँ तेरा सदका तेरी शरण सतनाम श्री वाहिगुरु साहिब जी एक ओंकार सतगुर प्रसादे राग बिहागड़ा महला नावा हर की गत नह को जानै जोगी जति तपी पचहारे और बहु लोग सियाने हर की गत नह को जानै जोगी जति तपी पचहारे अर बहु लोग सियाने रहाओ छिन मह राव रंक काउ करई राव रंक कर डारे रीते भरे भरे सखना वै यह ताको व्यवहारे ਆਪਣੀ ਮਾਇਆ ਆਪ ਪਸਾਰੀ, ਆਪਹਿ ਦੇਖਨ ਹਾਰਾ, ਨਾਨਾ ਰੂਪ ਧਰੇ ਬਹੁ ਰੰਗੀ, ਸਭ ਤੇ ਰਹਿ ਨਿਆਰਾ। ਅਗਨਤ ਅਪਾਰ ਅਲਖ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ, ਜਿਹ ਸਭ ਜਗ ਭਰਮਾਇਓ, ਸਗਲ ਭਰਮ ਤਜ ਨਾਨਕ ਪ੍ਰਾਣੀ, ਚਰਨ ਤਾਹੇ ਚਿਤ ਲਾਇਓ। ਹਰ ਕੀ ਗਤ ਨਹਿ ਕੋ ਜਾਣੈ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਪਤਿਤ ਪਾਵਨ ਭਗਤ ਵਤਸਲ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇ ਖਜ਼ਾਨੇ ਜੋਤ ਰੂਪ ਧੰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ। ਆਪ ਜੀ ਵਡਭਾਗੀ ਹੋ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਕੱਢ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੋ ਇਹ ਐਤਵਾਰ ਦਾ ਹਫਤਾਵਾਰੀ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਹਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਘਰ ਆ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਚਰਨ ਪਰਸ ਕੇ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਦਾਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਰਾਗੀ ਸਿੰਘਾਂ ਪਾਸੋਂ ਬੀਬੀ ਅਤੇ ਸੇਵਕ ਜਥਾ ਪਾਸੋਂ ਹਰ ਜਸ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਸਰਵਣ ਕੀਤਾ, ਲਾਹਾ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕੀਤਾ। ਹੁਣ ਕੁਝ ਕੁ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਦਾਸ ਨੇ ਜੋ ਇਹ ਧੰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ। ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਧੰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੌਵੇਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਦਿਹਾੜਾ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਸਮੂਹ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਨਾਉਣਾ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਦੇ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਕੁਝ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਸਾਂਝੀਆਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਹਨ। ਆਓ ਮਨਚਿਤ ਬਿਰਤੀਆਂ ਕਾਗਰ ਕਰੋ, ਦਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਸੀਸਾਂ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ ਤੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੇ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਅਤੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਕਰੋ ਜੀ। ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ। ਧੰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ। In the coming days, the Sikh world will be remembering and even further celebrating their Shahidi. These days that we are going through now are the Shahidi days of the three Gursikhs that were Shaheed prior to Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji being Shaheed. I use the word celebrating because in Sikhi we never mourn. We stay in Chardi Kala, we stay in high spirits. And when the blood of a Shaheed is spilt, whether it's a Gursikh brother or sister, whether it's one of our Gurus, we don't mourn, we celebrate. Because by every droplet of blood that is spilt is a blessing towards us and the opportunities that we have to break free from the 8.4 million birth and death life cycle and join with the Akal Purkh Vaheguru, which is the meaning of our life on this earth. So in the coming days, the Sikh world will be celebrating the Shahidi of Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj were the youngest Sahibzade. So in English terms, we would say the youngest son of 5 of Sahib Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj, the 6th Guru known as Miri Piri De Malik, the master of Miri, temporal power, Piri, spiritual power, the first and the master of being a saint soldier. They were their son, their Sahibzade. When they came to this world, they came in the city of Amritsar, where Sri Harmandir Sahib, Takht Sri Akal Takht Sahib is now, where the Amritsar Sarovar is placed. About a kilometre behind Sri Akal Takht Sahib, through the shops, if you've ever ventured in that direction, is a Gurdwara called Guru Ke Mahal. Mahal meaning palace, the palaces of our Guru. When Sri Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji was instructed by our 3rd Guru Sri Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji to start the Seva of Amritsar Sarovar, the Sarovar at Sri Harmandir Sahib. And that town started flourishing, originally called Guru Ke Chak. It was in that place where now that Gurdwara, Guru Ke Mahal, is placed, where the Gurus would reside. After Dhan Sahib, Sri Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji, Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji, Shaheedan de Sartaj, the first Shaheed, the crown jewel of all Shaheeds, where they would live. And then after Sahib, Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji would live. And that is the place, the coming place, the place that Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji came to this world in that Gurdwara called Guru Ke Mahal. Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, when they were brought to Takht Sri Akal Takht Sahib Ji, the Takht Sahib where Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji used to sit and give their command, which is placed opposite Sri Harmandir Sahib. When Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji was brought to them as they came to this world, Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji climbed on their laps. And we know Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji would wear two swords, one of Miri, this temporal power, and one of Piri, spiritual power. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, in their baby form, put both of their hands on both of the swords. Some historians say that Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji was called Tyag Mal when they came to this world, and the name of Teg Bahadur were only given at later times. But other historians also say that at that point, when Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji put both of their hands on both Karpanna, Miri and Piri Karpanna, that are now at Sri Akal Takht Sahib. So if we are lucky enough on an evening after Satguru Sahib Ji, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Sukhasan, we get to see those two Karpanna that Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji used to wear, the Karpans of Miri and Piri. When Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji placed both of their hands on those two swords, on those two Karpanna, Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji at that point named Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji as Teg Bahadur. They are already reaching out to these swords, the swords that they will cut off any julam, any atrocity, but any sword will not even be able to take their head. So Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji is talking about the end of time of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji on this earth, when they gave their cease but did not cry out. Later on, they were sent with their mother, Mata Nanaki Ji, and their mahal, or their wife, if we say in English, Mata Gujri Ji. And they later stayed at a town called Bakala, now known as Baba Bakala. If we are on the way to Amritsar to visit Sri Harmandir Sahib, and we are coming from the south of Punjab, going through Ludhiana or Jalandhar or those areas, and we're on that GT road, Baba Bakala we will pass on our right hand side. Before Guru Sahib Ji goes to reside at Baba Bakala, or Bakala as it was known then, they fight with Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji against the Mughals in the 4 battles that Sahib Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji won against the Mughals. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji was the master of the sword, but also the master of true spiritualism, true dharma. They were a saint soldier as well. They went to reside at Bakala. Many years passed. Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji gave the Gurgaddi to Sri Har Rai Sahib Ji, their grandson. Sri Guru Har Rai Sahib Ji gave the Gurgaddi to Sri Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji, their son. But Mata Nanaki Ji, the mother of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, was already told that Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji would soon sit on the Gurgaddi, would soon be the Guru of the Sikhs, and at the same time, Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji would have a son who would finish all the atrocities that the Mughal Empire was placing on the people of India, as it was all called India at that time. They were going to be called Sahib Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, the father of the Khalsa. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji spent over 20 years at Bakala, affixed on the charan of Akal Purkh Vaheguru. Mata Gujri Ji was there as well, along with their mother Mata Nanaki Ji. They stayed in Bakala for over 20 years, affixed in the charan of Vaheguru, affixed in Naam. Now one would ask, why does Guru need to affix and concentrate and focus on Naam? If Guru Sahib Ji is the form of Vaheguru on this earth, why do they need to do it? It's a very good question. Technically, they don't need to do it, because they are the form of Vaheguru on this earth, as we are told by Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Jot Roop Har Aap Guru Nanak Kahaya. Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji was the form of Vaheguru. And later Panktiyan tell us how all the Gurus are their form, and they are also that form of Vaheguru on this earth. But they did because it shows us, because as Sikhs, if the Gurus didn't do what they were preaching, then we would question them. Many question them even now, even though whatever we are taught, they have lived through those practices. We still question now, but maybe many more would have questioned if they didn't go through those practices themselves. They are showing us that first we must spend a lot of time contemplating about our own jivans before we stand up, before we even think about changing the world. We must try and change ourselves first. When Sri Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji saved the whole of the Sangat of Delhi from smallpox and took that Bamari on themselves and left this world, they said to a Gursikh called Bhai Gurditta Ji. Now Bhai Gurditta Ji was the 6th lineage further from Baba Buddha Sahib Ji. Baba Buddha Sahib Ji was a Gursikh who was from the times of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji all the way to Sri Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. And when the Gur Gaddi was being passed on, they would partake in the ceremony of passing in the Guruship from one Guru to the next. And when they left the world, it was from their family lineage that Bhai Gurditta Ji would continue that ceremony. Sri Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji had pointed to Baba Gurditta Ji that the next Guru resides in Bakala, and they are their Baba. So Baba Bakala, that's why that town is now known as Baba Bakala. But they were pointing out that their grandfather, in terms of relation, that they will be the next Guru, Baba, the elder. So Bhai Gurditta Ji went to Bakala. They partook the ceremony and gave the Gur Gaddi to Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji never became Pargat. In other words, they never came out openly and said. We know the Sakhi when Bhai Makhan Shah Lubana, who was on his boat, on his ship, he was a merchant, his ship was drowning, he prayed to the Almighty Lord, and Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji carried his drowning ship to the beach, so he was saved. He promised that he will give 500 gold coins to the Gurukar. But when he reached Bakala, there were 22 impostors who set themselves up as the Guru. And he visited all of them. But what he did, he would put down 2 gold coins to test, because he didn't know who was the true Guru. Even in this day and age, there are many impostors who say they will be able to save us. They may show us great tricks. They may give us threads. They may tell us to complete certain rituals. We may fall into their traps, believing they are sorting our affairs of our lives. And we follow them. There are many set up in India. There are many set up in England. There are many set up all over the world. Some of them have the garb like Gursikhs. They will have a dastar, a long beard. They will wear a chola, a bana, a kurta pajama. And some of them don't look nothing to do with the Sikh faith. But there are many set up in this world that we follow to sort our affairs. we don't realize that our affairs, our problems are sorted by our Guru Sahib, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. The Guru, the everlasting Guru, the infinite Guru at this time. We take our problems to others, where we can take our problems to the Almighty Lord, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Vaho Vaho Bani Nirankar hai, this Jevad Avarna Koi. This Bani, this Shabad, is the Almighty Lord on this earth. We are blessed to be sitting in the sanctuary of the Almighty Lord, Vaheguru, in their physical form, the form of the Shabad. And when we do Sad Sangat and listen to Kirtan, we are doing Sangat with Akal Purkh Vaheguru. We are blessed with that as Sikhs. But yet we still go to others. Just like Makhan Shah Lubana, he was saved by the Almighty Lord. Those 22 false prophets, or Pakhandis as they're known, they didn't save him. Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji saved him. Just like if anything happens in our life, it's Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji that save us. None of these false people who set themselves up, who say they have the power of the Almighty Lord. Only Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji can save us. So Bhai Makhan Shah Lubana was leaving Bakala because he couldn't find the true Guru. And then somebody told him that there is another Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji who lives in Apora, who spends time in Apora. They would spend time in a separate room. Now we sometimes think Apora might be underground, they're leaving themselves from the world. Actually Apora was used in those days because it was cooler, because it's slightly underground. It gives you quiet instead of sitting on the earth where all the noise of the world is going on. It's basically a quiet place where you can concentrate. So even in our houses, when we want to do some Simran, when we want to do some Path, we will find a quiet room so we can concentrate. We'd find a room where it is cool and where it's not too hot. And in those days, a Pora used to be used. So Bhai Makhan Shah Lubana went into the Pora, they put 2 gold coins down. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji didn't speak. They were leaving, and then Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji said, "You promised 500, you only placed 2. He realized that Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji is the 9th form of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, is the 9th Guru of the Sikhs, is the 9th form of Akal Purkh Vaheguru on this earth. And he comes out and he shouts, Gur Laddo Re, Gur Laddo Re. I have found the true Guru. The true Guru is Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, the Guru of the house of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji became Pargat. They came out into the world. They became known in the world that they are the Guru. Bhai Makhan Shah Lubana wanted to visit Sri Harmandir Sahib. Now the Masands at the time, the controllers of the Guru Cars, the controllers, they were Sikhs at the time. They didn't want Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji to come out because they were making money. And that is a problem in this day and age. Finding the right person to set us on the right path when we're looking for that path of Gursikhi. But let's take the teaching. Bhai Makhan Shah Lubana was not distracted by anybody. He went to the Guru. And that's what we should do. We should put our trust and faith in the Guru. We shouldn't question the Guru. We shouldn't question the Guru's doings. And we shouldn't be led astray by humans that could be like myself, that could be like anybody who are breaking us away from the true teachings. We must always join with the teachings of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji and our Gurus. So there was even a time where a bullet was fired to kill Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji by a Masand who was a Sikh, but he wanted, his name was Shiha Masand, and he was told by a relative of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji to murder them, Tirmal, because they wanted to keep the Gurgaddi in their house. But the true Guru can never be defeated. Even in this day and age, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swaroops are being martyred. They're being shaheed. They're being disrespected. They are not being respected because in a way, some logical mentality is if we don't respect Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, then in our minds, the people of the world, of the Sikh world, if we don't see respect, then we lose respect. Because we say, well, that person, they look spiritual, they're not respecting Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, maybe we shouldn't have to. But the utmost respect, we have to give Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They are Jagadi Jot. They are the Jot, that light. There's no English words to describe these Gurmukhi words, to really give it justice. That Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is the light, the form of Akal Purkh Waheguru on this earth, and we are blessed to be able to sit in their sanctuary. We don't have to go anywhere else. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji travelled south to Sabha ki Talwandi, Damdama Sahib, which was later known as one of our takhts. There's a Gurdwara there next to Takht Sri Damdama Sahib. There's a Sarovar there. If you've been, later when Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji go there, they use the water of that Sarovar to prepare Amrit. And Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji were in the Panj Pyare themselves. So when Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji created the Khalsa and gave the rule of the Panj, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, after that point, never created Amrit by themselves again. If they were part of an Amrit Sanchar Samagam, they would be one of the Panj Pyare. And at that place in Sabha ki Talwandi, when Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji went to reside there, they did lag, or they did form the Panj Pyare, and they were one of them. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji founded Anandpur Sahib, the birthplace of the Khalsa. It was known as Makhobal because there was a Dhan, a bad spirit that Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji released from there. Later became known as Chak Nanaki after their mother. And then when Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji blessed that place and created the Khalsa, or brought the Khalsa into the world, so it was Pargat, so we could see it. It was known as Anandpur Sahib, the place of extreme bliss, the place of no duality, the place of oneness. And where they took the heads of the Panj Pyare, took them off, created Khandidi Pohol, brought them back to life, and the Panj Pyara system was created. Then they went, continuing their prachar to the east of India towards Bengal, Assam. They helped a Raja called Ram Singh. Sri Patna Sahib, historically, where the first Akhand Path Sahib happened, if you look and research historically, the first Akhand Path Sahib with the Guru Granth Sahib Ji Swaroop happened at Patna Sahib. And the seva was done with Mata Nanaki Ji. So this is not Bibi Nanaki, the sister of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. This Mata was called Nanaki Ji as well. They were the mother of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji. They came back to Sri Anandpur Sahib Ji with Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, in those days known as Sri Gobind Rai. And then the Mughals, who were asking for Sava Man. Sava Man, 1 1/4 man is a measurement of weight. 1 man can be described as 3.5 or 3.4 grams. So Sava Man, we're going up to 4 or 5 grams. Now 4 or 5 grams of Janoons, Mughals were oppressing, and they were converting the whole of India. The Hindu Pandits travelled all over praying in all their shrines, and they were pointed that their only saviour could be Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, the form of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji on this earth. Kirpa Ram, one of those Pandits who had links from the times of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji within his family, and Kirpa Ram later became a shaheed, as historians tell us, in the Battle of Chamkaur, because he took Amrit. He brought those Pandits, those Kashmiri Pandits as they're known, to Anandpur Sahib, and Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji was begged to save their faith, because Aurangzeb, who was the Mughal emperor, said, if you can find us a spiritual person, we won't oppress everybody in India. Because even oppressing everybody, he was losing money, going all over, killing everybody. He had to pay soldiers. So he thought this was an easy way, convert one, everybody will convert. They couldn't find anybody to stand up to Aurangzeb. They came to Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji. When he tested Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji pointed and said, Father, there's no one more spiritual than you. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji made a decision and left for Delhi. They caught arrest in Agra, which is just south of Delhi. Now some historians say Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji caught arrest just outside of Anandpur Sahib. But even Professor Sahib Singh says that Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji caught arrest in Agra. And if we break away from our history, finding things now, we are questioning these last 300-400 years of all those great scholars who have already researched our great history and told us about our history. And we will lose all those historical places that Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji visited on the way, and those people they blessed on the way to courting arrest. They were with 5 Singhs. 3 of those were by Mati Das Ji, by Sati Das Ji, by Dayal Das Ji. By Mati Das Ji was questioned first. They were questioned and they were told to convert to Islam. What Aurangzeb thought, if we can convert the Sikhs, we can torture them, Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji will become scared and they will convert themselves. They were told to show a magic trick. But Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji said, they will not show no magic. They will not show no karamat. Karamat is like showing magic. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji said, any occurrence from the Gurus in previous are all within the abiding the hukam of Akal Purkh Vaheguru. We don't show magic just for the sake of it. Bhai Mati Das Ji was offered wealth, land, money, even women to convert. Aurangzeb offered Bhai Mati Das Ji his own daughters to marry. And Bhai Mati Das Ji was laughing when he was being offered wealth, when he was being offered land, when he was being offered kingdoms. And then he stopped laughing when Aurangzeb offered his daughters. And Aurangzeb said, why do you look so sad? Are you scared? Or now have you thought of that you will convert? And Bhai Mati Das Ji did lanata to Aurangzeb. He said, you Mughal Empire who would kidnap many daughters of India and forcibly convert them, saying your faith is the right way. You call me a criminal. That's why you've arrested me and bound me in chains. Yet you are giving your daughter away to a criminal. That is a sad occurrence in terms of who you really are. Bhai Mati Das Ji was blessed with complete Gursikhi, and he could destroy the Mughal forces himself with his spiritual power. But Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji stopped him and said, this is the Pana of Akal Purkh Vaheguru. And through this occurrence will the next part of Sikh history develop, the development of the Khalsa Panth. What will happen in these days will lay the foundations of how the Khalsa will develop. So Bhai Mati Das was given a fatwa where he will be sawed alive. His last request was to face Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji. He said to Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, please bless me so I don't waver. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, in Nimrata, said, you are a Sikh of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. You do many parts daily of Sri Japji Sahib, the Bani of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. He would read many Sri Japji Sahibs daily, over and over. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji said, Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji will protect you. The all-powerful Lord Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji is still showing humbleness and giving all praise to Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, who is their form. But they take away that praise from themselves. Bhai Mati Das Ji is saying to those who are about to give him martyrdom, you sharpen your swords and I will sharpen my mind. He starts reciting Sri Japji Sahib. He starts from Ik Oankar and reaches Panch Parvan, Panch Pradhan. That is around after 15 Pauriyan, 16th, 17th Pauri of Sri Japji Sahib, out of 40. By the time he reaches that point, his body is in 2 pieces cut in half. He hasn't screamed. And both pieces of his body are continuing to recite the complete Sri Japji Sahib as if 2 people are reciting it together. That is the power of the Gursikhs who reach oneness with the Lord. Bhai Satidas Ji, Bhai Dayal Das Ji are both tortured and offered the same, but they stay strong in their Sikhi. Bhai Dayal Das Ji is boiled alive in hot oil in a cauldron. They recite Sri Sukhmani Sahib and do not scream and feel no pain. Bhai Satidas Ji is wrapped in cotton wool and chains and is burnt alive. They do not scream for pain because they are reciting Waheguru Mantra. So the three Gursikhs are joined in Waheguru and join in Naam's different forms. One Sri Japji Sahib, one Sri Sukhmani Sahib, and one Sri Gurmantar Sahib. Now we think those happenings can only happen in them days, but even Sikhs that were tortured in the last 20-30 years by Anok Singh Ji Babbar, by Gurdev Singh Ji Usmanwala, just to name two Gursikhs, even the police officers who tortured them said out of their bodies when we were throwing salt in their wounds, when we were torturing them, only we did not hear any screams out of their bodies. We heard Waheguru Mantar, we heard Mool Mantar over and over. So this spiritual power is not just in those days. These spiritual powers, these blessings are within the Gursikhs today, but only those Gursikhs who listen, believe and follow the teachings of our now Guru Sahib, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. The time came of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji did not show a magic trick. Tilak Janju Rakha Pravtaka Kino Bado Kalu Mahesaka. That's what Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji describes this day as in their Bani of Bachittar Natak. The tilak that they put on their heads, the Pandits, Janju, the Jinnu that they wear around their bodies. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji was the protector of that. They were protector of all faiths. Because in Kaljug, this great sakka, this great happening, only they could do it. Tikar for Dalis Sir, Prabhapur Kiya Payan, Teg Bahadur Ki Kriya, Kinhu Na Kabhu An. So Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji did this great happening. Nobody could match the happening that they did. They gave their cease. They did Ishnan. The Sarovar is there at Seesganj Sahib, where they did Ishnan. They recited Sri Japji Sahib, and they gave their head. So the foundation stone of the Khalsa Panth could be laid. If you go to Seesganj Sahib Gurdwara now, that Sarovar is still there. That well is still there, where Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji used the water to do Ishnan, where they were Shaheed, used to be a police station. The Gurdwara has only been built there in the last 100 years. So even for 100-200 years, it was still a police station where they were kept in their cell. Chandani Chowk, the crossroads of those roads, if you go there, it's like a mini roundabout where the three Gursikhs were Shaheed. And there is only a board there to describe that Shaheedi. And people on cars go past that. It's like a mini roundabout. So the forces, the Sarkara of Delhi never gave that place up. If you are ever lucky to go to those places, you will see with your own eyes. It's in the center of Delhi where this happened. So Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji gave their head. So the foundation stone of the Khalsa would be laid. Bhai Jeta Ji took their cease and brought it back to Sri Anandpur Sahib, to Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. Bhai Lakhi Shah Manjara took their body, took it to their house where the Gurdwara Rakabganj Sahib is, and they cremated their body within their house. The Seesganj Sahib Gurdwara in Sri Anandpur Sahib, separate to our Takht, is where the sanskar, the cremation of the cease of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji was done. Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji asked, was there no Sikh who stood up? Bhai Jeta Ji says no. And Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji then at that point explains that I am going to create a Khalsa that will stand out in a crowd, that will never be fearful, that will be the true saint soldier. And to test that Khalsa, Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji tested those bhajans, those sayings on their own Char Sahibzade, because then the Char Sahibzade and the Panch Pyare, three of them were Shaheed The elder Sahibzade with the 3 Panch Pyare in Chapkaur Sahib, and the 2 Chote Sahibzade were bricked alive in Sarhand at Fatehgarh Sahib. So whatever Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji said, they tested it on their own family. Why? In putran ke sees par var diye sutchar, char muhe to kya paya jeevat lakh hajar. So we hundreds and thousands can live on in luxury in this world. But great Gursikhs over all these times complete that bachan. They keep a Sabat Surat. They keep their case untouched from the bottom of their toes to the top of their heads. They keep their beard flowing like lions, so they stand out from a crowd. They don't try to mix in the crowd. They stand out from the crowd. They wear the Panj Kakar. They read their Nitnem daily, rising in the early hours. And they do Naam Japana, Vand ke Shagna Kirt Karni. The simple teachings, if you will, given all the way from the start by Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. The Sikhs cannot be hidden. They will always stand out in a crowd, and they will be tested to give their tan, man and tan, their mind, body and wealth when the time comes. Just like the Gursikhs before them, we're going to concentrate now on this Shabad, this teaching of Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, as we celebrate the Shahidi of those 3 Gursikhs, by Mati Das Ji, by Sati Das Ji, by Dayal Das Ji, and in the coming days, the Shahidi of Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, who gave their cease to lay the foundation stone of the Khalsa. They did not cry. They did not need to show a karamat, even though one can argue that giving their cease without screaming, without losing their faith, there's no bigger karamat than even that. They did not show a magic trick to Aurangzeb. Let us focus on this Shabad, and let us see what teaching Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji has given us. Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji has given us Bani in 15 rags. The 15th rag, Rag Jajavanti, is a rag on its own, but Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji has only written in that rag. Those Shabads were collected by Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, and the form of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji contains the Bani of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, and the most famous Bani of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji is known as Bhogande Slok, the sloks that we hear at the end of a Sri Akhand Path Sahib before we read Ragamala, the sloks that we hear at the end of a Sahaj Path, that Bani, that Baragamai Bani, to make us think, to make us contemplate in our own lives, are we on the right path? We concentrate and focus on that Bani at the end of Sahib Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Let us focus on this Shabad in the Rag of Bahagra. Ik Oankar Sadguru Prasad. There is one form of Akal Purkh Vaheguru, who is the giver of life, the sustainer of life, and the deliverer of life back into themselves. They protect us in this world. Sadguru Prasad, with their blessings, with the blessings of the true Guru, we reach the form of Akal Purkh Vaheguru, who is Sat, the truthful form, truth in the past, present and future, who is Gur, Chetan Sarup, in other words, Jagdi Jyot, the living power, the living energy of a Vaheguru, and Prasad, Anand Sarup that has no duality, that Sarup, that form that is complete bliss. Rag Behagada Mahalla Nava, Tan Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, the 9th Sarup, the 9th form of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, in this Rag of Behagada is given us this teaching. Har ki gat neh ko janne. Har ki gat, gat means maryada, discipline, teaching, hukam. So the hukam, the maryada, the discipline, the way of the Lord Hari Vaheguru, who kills our Panchchor, Hari. Panchchoranu haran wala, basically to take away our Panchchors. Sanu hare pare karan wala, who makes us blossom. That discipline of Akal Purkh Vaheguru, nobody knows their discipline, nobody knows their way, nobody knows their hukam. Nobody knew why Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji gave up their cease at that time. Nobody knew what was going on. And it only later became evident that it was the foundation stone of the Khalsa. Jogi Jati Tapi Pachahare Arbaho Log Seane. So Arbaho Log Seane. Seane. Everybody tries to become clever, to try and describe the teachings of the Lord. Try to say, this is what Guruji is saying. No, that's what Guruji is saying. No, this is how we should do a debate. Everybody tries to become clever and does a lot of research. Researching is one thing, but actually researching within our own lives, developing in our own lives, that is another thing. It's one side to learn about everything. But if we're not going to do anything after learning, then what was the point of learning? The point of learning is to develop our own lives. The point of learning about Sikhi is to know what we should be doing. If we don't change after learning, then there's no point learning, there's no point debating. Who has tried? Jogi Jati Tapi Pachahare. Jogi, Gorakhnath, Guru Sahib Ji, times of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, was the biggest yogic. Even he tried to describe, but he failed with Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji. Jati, those who stay celibate. Now I'm describing deities here, and I'll explain you why. Hanuman was known as the biggest celibate in previous ages. What Guru Sahib Ji is saying here, tapi, those who do a lot of tapasya, penance, Guru Sahib Ji is saying they've all tried to describe Vaheguru, but they never got close. They don't understand Vaheguru. They've failed Pachahare. They failed in trying to describe. Why? Because they haven't followed the teachings. They've tried to learn the teachings, but they haven't followed the teachings. Rahau means we must pause and contemplate on this. Let's not try and find out why Guruji does things. Sometimes we ask that question, why do we need to do this? Why should we keep our gaze? Why should we take Amrit? Why should we do Nitnem? Sometimes it's not about why. It's about using our furti, our energy, get up and go, and just getting on with it. And if we get on with it, then we will make a difference within our own lives, and then we can think about making a difference if we want to in the wider world. Shinmeh Rao Rank Kau Karai. Shinmeh, in an instant. Rao means Raja, king. Rank means Garib. Kau Karai. What Vaheguru can do in an instant, he can make a king into a Garib. And then further, Rao Rank Kar Dare. He can make a Garib into a king. Now Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji did do that. Because by giving their cease, not only did they set up the foundation stone for the Khalsa, so if the Sikhs were Garib in terms of not having that Khandedi Pahal, if the Sikhs were Garib not having that form, if the Sikhs were Garib in not having the complete teachings, we were blessed and made Amir because we were given those after the Shahidi. We were given those by Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji in 1699 at Anandpur Sahib. And then Aurangzeb and the Mughal forces who were saying as being wealthy, Amir, had all power. By laying this foundation stone, it actually laid the foundation stone that finished the Mughal Empire off. That finished the atrocities of India at that time. So the wealthy became poor and the poor became wealthy, and Guru Sahib Ji has that power to do that in an instant. They can even do it in this world. In our daily lives. If we feel we are poor in terms of qualities, they can give us all qualities. If we feel that we are poor in terms of materialistic wealth, they'll give us those. But at the same time, they can take away the wealth of paap that we might have collected, the wealth of badness, and they can take that all away. That is the power of Guruji. Rite pare pare sakhnave. So if you take an example of an empty glass, and we fill the glass with water, the glass becomes full. So they can make something empty, complete. But then a full glass, they can make empty. So they can pour good qualities within us, if we listen, believe and follow their teachings. And at the same time, our bodies, which may be full of those bad actions that we've collected through these millions and millions of life forms that we've traveled through, they can take and burn all those away. That is the way of the Guru. That is the work they do for us. Apni maya aap pasari aap he dekhan hara. This maya, this duality, this illusion that they've created, they did it themselves. There's no reason for us to search when the world started. What date did it start? We don't need to ask those questions. We don't need to research linking Sikhi to science or science to Sikhi, or even changing our history, because it doesn't fit in the modern world. So we change it. We say Baba Deep Singh's head couldn't come off. We say Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji didn't take the heads of the Panj Bihari, they must have cut some goats. We don't need to question it, because Guru Sahib Ji can do anything, as they have shown. So this maya, this illusion they created themselves, and they watch over it themselves. Nana Rupa Tare Bahurangi. They created many forms. Nana Rupa, many forms. Tare Bahurangi. And then within those forms, different characteristics. Sabte Rahe Niyara. But they stay separate from that. And that is the meaning of life for us. We have to take away, if you will, open the curtain of Maya, the veil of Maya, and we have to become one with the Lord. We have to become separate from this duality. While we're in duality, Dvaita Bhavana is called, we are mixed in this world. We are led by the world. We are led by society. We think in accordance of the world. But if we think in the accordance of Gurmat, our Guru's teachings, then we will stay separate from the world. We will become Nyara just like them. That's why Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji created the Khalsa, a Nyara Panth, separate to this illusion, outside of the illusion. So we can keep that separate, this Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Hankar that we're living in, and we can come outside of that and become one with the Lord. Aganata, Apar, Alakh, Niranjana, Aganata, have no limit, Apar, infinite, Alakh, indescribable, Niranjan, Maya Turat, completely pure, no dag, no black mark against them. Jehesab Jagapar Mayo, they are the creator of this world, of this universe, of this expanse. And we are confused within it, Parmayo. We have been parmad within it. But that is only due to our own actions. But if we take away those actions and we focus on actions related to our Guru, then we can come out of that duality and we can become one with the Lord. And at the end, Sahib Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji saying, Sagala Param Taj Nanak Prani Charan Tahe Chit Layo. For that reason, Sagal Param, all this confusion in the world, all these questions, all these tensions and stresses, we should put that aside. Dhan Sahib Sri Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, in the form of Sri Guru Teg Bahadur Sahib Ji, is telling us Nanak Prani. They are telling us Prani, they're talking to us. Charan Tahe Chit Layo. Our chit, our concentration, our focus, we must focus it on the charan of Akal Purkh Vaheguru. What is the charan? The charan is the Shabad. If we focus on the Shabad of Akal Purkh Vaheguru through Gur Mantar, Moor Mantar, or any Gurbani, just like those Gursikhs did, by Mati Das Ji, by Sati Das Ji, by Dayal Das Ji, we will lose that confusion. We will understand this world better. We will know what is right and what is wrong. Our empty glasses, if you want to describe it as that way, will be filled with qualities. We can't just say tomorrow we're going to turn over a new leaf like we do in New Year's. We're going to have a New Year's resolution, and tomorrow we're not going to tell a lie again, or we're not going to do this again. We can't do anything. We can't just turn it on and off. We need the blessings of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But only if we focus in their charan, in their Shabad, and we concentrate, automatically our glass will be filled, and any negativity that will be poured out, we will become one with the Lord, and we will be able to aspire to become like those Gursikhs who have laid the foundation stones, who have built the walls, so we can live in lives of luxury in our houses that they built for us. Even just remembering them and paying them back in an instant, we will make and move many steps. But if we want complete oneness with the Lord, we must never forget our true Guru Sahib, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the teachings that they give us through the Panch Pyare, when we go and give our spiritual head, and then we have a real opportunity to break free from the 8.4 million birth and death life cycle and become one with the Lord. If I've made any mistakes, I beg for forgiveness. You, the Sadh Sangha, can bless me with Brahm Gyan so I can continue sharing the teachings of Akal Purkh Vaheguru. Deho Sajjan Assis Sidiyan Jehovah Sahib Shumel Lekha Kata Hena Shutiya Khin Khin Pulanhar Baksanhar Baksle Nanak Par Utar. I thank the Sevadars and the Prabandhaks who have allowed me to come and do your darshan this morning. I hope that I'll have the opportunity to do that again. Let us read the last two panktis out of respect and complete the Shabad. We will say Fateh, and that will be the end of the Divan. Agant apar alakh niranjan jeh sab jag paramayo sagal param taj nanak prani charan tahe lab chit layo. Wahe Guru Ji ka Khalsa, Wahe Guru Ji ki Fateh.